In the late 1990s, a chilling rumor swept across America's railways, a phantom haunting the tracks. He moved with the freight trains, unseen and unheard, leaving devastation before vanishing into the night. This was no ordinary killer. He struck wherever the rails ran, making every home near the tracks a potential target. The only warning was the distant whistle of a train, now a sound of menace. Fear crept into once safe communities. People locked doors, watched trains with suspicion, and wondered, who was this man? Where would he strike next? Law enforcement was baffled, chasing a suspect who seemed to be everywhere and nowhere. He left behind scenes of shocking brutality, but almost no clues. He became a terrifying legend, the railway killer. While police searched neighborhoods, he was already gone, hundreds of miles away, hidden in a freight car. For a time it seemed he was unstoppable, a ghost in the machine, and the nation held its breath waiting for the next headline. The Phantom finally gained a name, Ángel Maturino Reséndiz. Born in Puebla, Mexico, his life was marked by hardship and constant movement. He crossed into the US as a teenager, living off the grid and slipping across borders with ease. Reséndiz was deported repeatedly but always returned, living as a drifter and working odd jobs. His criminal record, burglary, trespassing, assault, hinted at a violent nature, but he always managed to disappear. Using multiple aliases, he evaded law enforcement for years, blending into the transient world of the rails. His deep knowledge of the railway system made him nearly invisible, a shadow moving through the country. This nomadic existence set the stage for the terror he would unleash. The railway killer's method was chillingly simple. He rode freight trains across states, slipping into towns near the tracks. He targeted modest homes within walking distance, breaking in with crude force. Inside, he used whatever weapon was at hand, rocks, tire irons, knives, to overpower his victims. The attacks were brutal, random, and deeply personal, strangers chosen only for where they lived. He killed couples, single women, even a pastor and his wife. Sometimes he lingered after the crime, eating from the fridge before vanishing back into the night. By the time police arrived, he was already gone, leaving behind confusion and sorrow. The small items he stole were grim trophies, never traced. He turned the nation's railways into his personal tool for terror. The railway killer's reign cast a shadow across America. Fear spread with each new murder near the tracks, from Texas to Illinois, Kentucky to Florida. Anyone living near the rails felt vulnerable. The randomness made the threat universal. Victims included Dr. Claudia Benton, a pediatric neurologist, Norman and Karen Cernick, a beloved pastor and his wife, and George Morber Sr. and his daughter in Illinois. Each new crime sent waves of panic through communities. People installed locks, bought alarms, and slept with weapons nearby. The killer violated the most sacred space, the home. Media coverage amplified the fear, turning the railway killer into a household name. The sound of a train whistle became a trigger for anxiety. The victims were ordinary people, making the crimes feel personal to everyone. The killer seemed like an unstoppable force, a storm that could strike anywhere. For a year, Ángel Maturino Reséndiz held a nation captive, proving terror needs only a path to follow. The manhunt for the railway killer was one of the FBI's most challenging cases. He had no address, no car, and used countless aliases, making him nearly impossible to track. While police investigated one crime scene, he was already hundreds of miles away. The vast railway system gave him an almost supernatural ability to vanish. The FBI formed a massive task force mapping murders and building a profile, a transient, likely Hispanic skilled at riding freight trains. They had fingerprints and DNA but no name to match. The breakthrough came when they linked him to the alias Rafael Reséndiz Ramirez and found his sister in Albuquerque. He was placed on the 10 most wanted list, his face plastered across the country. The public was on high alert, but Reséndiz went deeper underground, becoming even more dangerous. The hunt was a race against time, with the nation hoping for a breakthrough before he struck again. The railway killer's end came not with a raid, but a surrender. As the manhunt intensified, Reséndiz's world shrank. He was recognized everywhere. Desperate, he reached out to his sister Manuela, who contacted the Texas Rangers. Through her, he negotiated his surrender, fearing for his safety if arrested. Texas Ranger Drew Carter promised fair treatment, building trust through careful negotiation. On July 13, 1999, Reséndiz walked across the bridge from Mexico to Texas, accompanied by his family, and surrendered. There was no struggle, just a quiet end to a nationwide nightmare. He wanted to end the chase on his own terms, trusting a promise made to his sister. For law enforcement, it was a moment of relief. For the public, the end of a terror. The Phantom of the Rails was finally in custody. With Reséndiz in custody, the legal process began, but many questions remained. He was tried in Texas for Dr. Claudia Benton's murder. His defense claimed insanity, but the jury found him guilty. On June 27, 2006, he was executed by lethal injection. His final words were a plea for forgiveness, admitting he'd let evil rule his life. For some, his execution brought closure. For others, it left unanswered questions. Officially linked to at least 15 murders, authorities suspect his true victim count is higher. He confessed to other killings, but many details remain unverified. His transient lifestyle means some crimes may never be solved. The full scope of his journey remains a haunting mystery. The story of the railway killer is a chilling reminder of the darkness that can travel along the most ordinary paths. The phantom is gone, but the echo of his passage still lingers.